Namaste, good morning. Today is Thursday, October 8th. And so we continue.
All right.
Thank goodness I had a little sleep last night, so I'm not going to be sitting here nodding out today. Hopefully.
That's a good thing. You got some sleep.
Oh, I'm telling you, I hadn't had sleep in so long, I've almost forgotten what it is.
Oh, no. Sleep, boy, is such a needed thing, as we all know. Okay, so we're just going to start and get some of these going. Here's our first one. Matches my outfit, kind of.
You do, you match.
That's why it came up, maybe, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, they're saying, take me to God and let me fly. Okay, it sounds like they may have had some Sufi experiences.
Okay.
I do see the whirling dervish dance going.
Okay.
It's always nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
I pray for stillness.
Stillness is a good thing.
Yeah. So, maybe just practices, or
Yeah, practices Om that I am that I am, and this COS.
hey, it's a very good recipe. Doing the whirling dervish for you to
Yes.
say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
You can go.
over there.
Mhm.
We're done. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, so that rock looks a little bit, no, it is very clear. It looks very clear in my mind as well. I see a little something in it as we approach it and zoom in. It looks like a clover.
Hmm.
Looks like maybe a 3-leaf clover.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. I've never found a 4-leaf. Have you?
No, they're not
Boy,
very
I
often
looked.
that you find those.
Boy, I looked. I used to go to a school called Clover Valley, and all in the valley was clovers. And we'd look all day for 4-leaf clovers. Sometimes we'd tear one of the leaves, in half.
And
So
try
we
to
said,
make it
fake
look.
it. Try to fake it. It didn't go over, and then we made necklaces of the little flowers, which
Oh,
the
I remember
teachers.
making the little daisy chains and stuff.
Right, we went in. The teachers was so mad we had those on. They'd take
Oh,
them
yeah.
right off of,
They'd make
of
you
us.
take them off.
Yeah, which wasn't fun.
They
but
weren't fun. No,
No,
they don't let
that's-
us have any
That's
fun.
no fun.
No.
But I do see a little clover, so maybe it feels like an Irish energy.
Ah,
Because
okay.
I do see a bit of the Irish green
A
and
little
that
bit of
kind
the
of a little
Irish.
bit of the Irish, which we haven't had here before. Although we do have someone on the path who's Irish.
We do.
So I do feel Ireland there, and though I've never been there, I do feel a lot of green, lush hills. It's just a very green feeling and wonderful feeling, actually, with their nature there is awesome. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing a heart reflected in it, then a three-leaf clover in that.
Okay.
So let's see what the message might be. And what's the little Irish fellow that you see on maybe
The
St.
little
Patrick?
leprechaun.
Little leprechaun.
Little leprechaun.
I see a little leprechaun there too. So, let's see. Okay, I do see someone that kind of have a mug of beer.
Oh my God.
Taverns, I'm feeling tavern energy. So far it was green, it was lush, and then we get
now
the
we're
tavern.
over to the tavern. Okay.
What a lead in. So they are there with a frothy beer. They're doing a lot of cheering with the beer and the froth and the goings on that go on in taverns. You have some,
Not our usual clientele.
they have a little red tone to their skin, which Irish sometimes can, but
Especially when they're doing a lot of
I was going to say, I would say the imbibing brings a little rosy cheeks too.
Rosy nose.
Rosy nose and cheeks. So let's see what questions they might have. So they lived that way, doing a lot of social partying and drinking and gatherings.
Right.
It feels like a male energy. They feel lost now. They just feel drifting, and I do still see beer. I don't know if they've still got some of that in them, that kind of, maybe some toxicity, I don't know, but they've got that there, and that's not good. Okay, let's see what they desire from us.
Let's see what they want. Let's see what they're looking for.
Exactly. They are saying they desire to be of good cheer.
Okay.
They desire to be social more, but they want to continue with this, I see the beer mugs clashing together. So.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's somebody that really wants to make progress. They just want to continue and go back into another form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying no challenges.
Yeah, they just want to continue where they're at. So
why they're here, I don't know.
Yeah, so again, they might just want to go to the guides and masters, whatever, and just ask for another birth. That's all. I mean, just get ready for another birth, because they want to just be pulled back into another form and continue where they left off.
Let's see if they want to learn anything. I mean,
doesn't sound like they want to.
They want to climb. I mean, there are some stairs. They want to climb a little higher, but I don't see them letting go of this.
Yeah, no, they're not really here for spiritual.
Thing.
That's not their number one thing. It's like
Exactly.
whatever they come into. So just ask for a rebirth where you can move forward in some direction.
There you go. I think that's the best thing for this soul. I do see the little leprechaun and the three clovers being projected. Okay, three-leaved clover. Oops, should I put that there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, you've got them in the right spot there?
Yeah.
The olders, okay. Yeah, so maybe they just got to keep looking for that four-leaf clover. I don't know. Can't tell you. Okay. Okay, so I do see a nice light emanating from this. On the top there is some darkness there, and then some red on the top of that. Coming from that, a rose type of image. Then rising from that, we have some more white. So we've got some layered colors, the rose and some white coming from that with some sparkles.
Okay.
Just want to see for a minute if anything grows more out of this. Because I do feel a little bit of a spirit coming from that rose. Sort of dancing and changing shape. Okay, so you have a question or message for us today? Okay, they have bloomed from the mud of their suffering, they're saying. And like this rose, they bloom that way. Now they feel like they are fresh and pure. And unsoiled, so they don't, you can't separate out this and that suffering and what comes from that. You just have to wait for that growth to appear. And and they just, they're living like this fresh purity now. But that suffering, they've got that layers are there still. Like you see the lotus, you still see that mud,
Right.
It, but it's not touching them now.
Right.
So they wanted to project that, and oops, did we lose that, Gurji? I'm sure
No,
we're there somewhere.
it's still
I
there.
know we didn't lose it, but
No, we didn't lose it. It just turns off.
yeah, I know it turns off, and we just wanted to get it back here so we can see what's happening. So, okay, I see some rain, sparkly rain coming down on the rose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're kind of saying that is for humanity, and
Right.
hoping to allow that in, and just keep going through it all. It's nice.
Yeah,
Thank
one
you
just
so
has to keep progressing through their stuff, and eventually you'll
Exactly.
come out the other side, and it can be fodder for other stuff to grow, for growth and things. So
Right. That's exactly
Yeah.
right. So I'll go over there. You're going over here, and I'm
the
going
joy
over
of
here.
the fertilizer, yeah.
Yeah.
The fertilizer of life. There we
That's
go.
what it is. And just like regular,
Sometimes it is, yeah.
I even think when some really good fertilizer has manure in it.
Well, that's exactly what it is. It's
Yeah.
the crap of life, and it's, can wind up being good for something, but you just
Thank God.
have to persevere through it.
Give me a nice big black dark rock, didn't you? Okay. Okay, so same rock appearance in my mind.
Mhm.
There is that bit of clarity in this rock that I'm seeing in my mind also.
Mhm.
Okay, so okay, I'm hearing nest. They have made a nest in there in that energy.
Okay.
I don't know about. Okay, where have you nested in the clarity or in? They're doing their best to make a nest in stillness and live there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how's that going? uh, gathering little twigs and that kind of thing, or what? So.
Nesting in stillness.
Yeah, nesting in stillness. I just saw a little picture of little robins and stuff. I mean, what's happening here, So they, okay, I think that is showing they're trying to protect that young life of stillness is what the
Okay.
little nest of robins meant. Because
Okay.
I see that and their little mouths open needing to be fed all the time, but they're kind of around trying to nurture that
Right.
and be with that, and it's young life, so it's just beginning. And it's, though like any young life, it's very vulnerable to.
Yeah, I would say don't focus on vulnerability and this idea that you're going to lose it, because then you're creating resistance to it, and
Or needing to just protect it all
right,
the time,
right.
that kind of
it's
thing.
there.
Good
There's
point.
nothing to protect. It's just there.
Good
Okay,
point.
so once you find it, then you just rest in it, and so worry about it and needing to protect it and stuff, you're going to distance yourself from it.
Yeah,
You're
and
going
it's
to
a lot
create
of
the very
work.
thing that you're working against. So you just relax into it.
Okay, good pointing, because I think it's been a lot of work for them, and also being vigilant, vigilant is good in one way, but another in
Yeah, but then you become absorbed in it, and you wind up losing it because you're so focused
point.
on clinging, and you can't. It's not something to cling to; it's something to relax into.
Okay, good. So they are kind of going, trying to take a breath and not feeling like they need to make
Right.
so much effort towards.
Right. Once you find it, you're not going to lose it. You just need to relax into it and know it's there, and don't create that resistance around it.
Okay, so this is penetrating them.
Yeah, they wanted to come through right away.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
so,
I do still see the little nest of baby birds, but with their mouths open. But let's see if that's going to kind of dissipate a bit.
yeah, they can do this COS, and that will help as well.
It's almost like they need to be the nurturer of that, but their grace is the what brings that, and I think they feel like they are the ones. I don't know, but
Well, they're the ones that need to be fed, so let them have the COS.
all right. So thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And that'll help with that.
Get over there.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay, so locked inside my own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of thing where you see that kind of cagey thing where there's a lock.
Yeah.
There's a person in there. They do look like they're almost like a straight jacket.
Ooh,
Not good.
that's not good.
They're in some kind of crazy hell thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what happened to put you there?
They're saying I lost my mind.
Lost your mind?
Not in a good way.
Yeah.
Schizophrenia or why are these coming to us? I don't know. So let's see where they're at. I do see them in there, and I see a lot of splits in consciousness, like
Usually
fragments.
there's been a lot of trauma if they have a lot of splits in consciousness.
Yeah, fragmented.
Mm-hmm.
And they are in this cage that's locked with, their straitjacket, and they're sitting there, and they're, just. Yes.
So this one, practicers are not going to really help. We're going to call in Christ, and then the rest of whoever best on the other side is there to help them, because they need to first let go of that trauma and stuff and that fragmenting before they can go forward. Yeah. They need to have some healing. So they can find out they're whole. They're not that fragmented. They don't need to fragment.
Okay, so there's a lot of light penetrating that cell.
Okay. Yeah, they need to come back to wholeness. They split into so many things to try to protect themselves in so many different personas and this and that they need to bring it all back to center core again, because they're just scattered. That energy is scattered everywhere.
Yeah, it's like a broken mirror or
Right,
something.
right.
So they're in there, and the light is beginning to penetrate. They are still there. It's not going to certainly happen with the snap of the fingers, but
it's going to take a while for them to come back together and recognize that there's no reason to carry all those identities and all of that different fragmenting.
see if they're getting any of this. Okay, they're just not in good shape.
No.
So
No.
let's just, we're going to have to leave this a while to be worked on and with.
Right. They're going to take a while, so we just asked that, Christ would come in and work with them to heal them, to get them back to a center point, because they're just really, it's really scattered at this moment.
Yeah, and that is happening. So we'll just,
Yeah.
you know, because there was drugs given, you know.
Yeah,
sorts
just a
things,
lot of
not
stuff.
good
Yeah,
thing.
it's going to take a while to get some healing energy into there.
Yeah, I mean, they must have a good heart in there somewhere to have been brought here, hopefully, and I'm sure it's just, you know.
Yeah, no, it's
Take
just
a
going
lot
to
of
take a
time.
while. It's going to take some reparation. It's going to take some time of healing and stuff for them to come back to a central point. Because everything is just, you know, scattered out like that, and they do it as a way of protection and, you know, so many different
Yeah.
things, but they need to get their mind back to one central point.
Yeah, and you know, it can happen. There can be healing there.
So I would say for them to do the Om, that one sound that goes through the universe, the universal sound, that one point, and that will help them to reintegrate as well.
Let's see if they
If they can start to do the Om, that
Let's
will
see if
help
they'll
them to
even-
reintegrate.
see if they can even get this, though. They're not really getting things.
Yeah, if they could hear that much, that would begin to help.
Okay, it's a very, when it goes in there, what I'm feeling in their energy, they did say, yes, I will, but this is the kind of thing I'm feeling in their
Yeah,
energy
yeah,
field.
it's going to take a while. It's going to take a
Yeah.
while, but that can be soothing. If they can do that, every sound they will hear, everything that goes through will be that Om, and that will be a center point
Sure.
they can come to.
No, it's good they have something
Yeah,
to
that will
grab
be a
onto.
center point that they can relax into.
You know, because it really is all about energy, and once these things can get more coordinated, working
Right.
harmonious versus all this, you
Right,
know,
because this is
fragmented,
just
broken.
right now. It's very fragmented, scattered. They're just you know
Yeah.
in the ozones with everything. So if they can come to that one center point that runs like a thread through everything, that can help to bring them back to a stabilization,
Oh, I'm sure.
and then they can move from there.
Yeah, so we'll just have to give this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Om, Om.
Okay.
Alrighty.
We'll hope they maybe come back sometime and they're in better conditions.
We'll give them some time to be worked on. It's going to be a while.
Okay. Okay, so they are pink. They're saying they are like a little pink princess. Yeah. So,
What's our pink princess up to today?
yeah. You see like a little pink ballerina type of soul. They are doing their, you know, on their toes with the shoes, and that's always so cool the way they do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing it well. And dancing their little, you know, I don't know. I used to have this little thing when I was a kid, just a little ballerina, and when you turn the thing, it would just spin.
Oh yeah, they spin.
And they're spinning.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So they're saying the spinning is good and the way for them. They're kind of saying, you know, I don't know, I see some energy like the dervish, the way they spin for them. It's just a cosmic kind of dance for them. Okay, so what else? So, what did you have to bring to us today? Questions or messages? Question mark? Okay, I'm kind of spinning with them. I don't know. I'm just hearing. I spin.
I spin.
You
I
starting?
spin. I spin.
Are you know, like those little toys you have? And so I'm kind of. So I spin. Okay, why spinning? God, they're spinning fast all of a sudden, so fast.
like a top.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now it's moving a little bit, almost like you see it, you know, her like a what's that in nature? Sometimes can't get my words. That spins like a funnel, tornado or something.
Tornado. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's sort of slowly spinning, but starting to come into balance a little
Okay.
bit. It's interesting. You can just feel it. Okay, so it is slowing down. It's coming into balance. Maybe that now it can speak a little. Jeez,
That would
thanks
help.
for that, taking us on the spinning journey. I'm getting a little dizzy here. I spin to show that there is...
There's what?
They're spinning to show that life is more, that's like that some of the transient nature of things.
Yeah. Comes and goes,
Yeah,
comes and goes.
and
It
circular,
cycles,
right.
cycles, comes and goes and cycles.
That was a
yes.
quick spinning, but and then there's this balance, once that's spinning in your mind and things stops there, there's this balance, and it just comes into this, perfect balance. I'm not getting a whole lot more than that.
Okay, well, that's maybe they just came to share where they're at. That when they spin, they come into
boy.
balance. It doesn't knock them off of balance. They have to stay in that center point when they're spinning.
Well, for ballerinas and things, they do.
Yeah, they stay in that
can't
still
be
center, and the
thrown.
body spins. So. Yeah, if you could find that still point in the midst of that spinning, you'll stay centered. So
And I would think the dervish dance
But,
as
yeah,
well.
stuff-
They never are off balance.
exactly, stuff comes and goes and transient in nature, but find that still point in the midst of it, like a gyroscope or something. It just
Yeah.
spins and
Well, thanks
Yeah.
for bringing some clarity to that, Gurji, because I'm still a little dizzy. All right. Don't know what to say. So there's another little, we've seen this style of rock before.
a little more rough around the edges
Once
there.
it's all rough
Little
around
gritty.
the edges, raw, natural.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not sure what they're saying. Today's another little funny day.
Mm-hmm. Some days are clearer than others.
Spirits, like they're kind of showing some wine and saying spirits. Refreshing drinks of spirits. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what they're saying. Just drink in the light,
Drink in the light.
yeah,
Drink in more nature and more natural, more.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one can drink in the get to that natural. Then like I said, they're pretty primitive here. So that's as far as we've gone with them. Is
Spirits.
yeah. If you're more primitive, just find the nature and drink in the energy of it. That's all.
It's really all
Natural
they had
energy
to say,
that's
but
around. Yeah, the
what more
natural
can
energy
you say
that's
to
around.
something like that? So, and then
Well,
we've
they all
got,
start out somewhere,
that's true. This one's a little heavier of a rock like that. It definitely has a little bit
more
more
depth,
weight
heaviness,
to it.
weighty.
You want to feel and see?
Oh, it does. It's
Yeah,
actually heavy for
how
the.
small it is.
Yeah,
Surprised how heavy it feels,
So
which
let's
is
see
always
what's-
interesting.
that's always interesting
'Cause,
when we
I
get the
just
heavy
kinda,
weight
even
one.
with something small like this, I do feel my hand.
Yeah,
kinda-
you feel that heavy weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh.
So let's see what's there.
This is interesting too.
Yeah, they're a little heavy for what the size is. The weight
Absolutely.
is very weighty for it.
Okay, there is a rich darkness in this rock. They're saying like Shiva, absolute.
Yeah.
Like Kali and her blackness, like the rich
Right.
black
The
earth.
tantric It's a tantric.
It is tantric,
It's
because that's
tantric.
exactly what I felt immediately.
Yeah, every time you get that heavy, just pulls you down, just heavy. It's usually tantric in nature. It's very tantric
And
based.
I knew that right away
Yeah.
when I was feeling it. There's something unusual about this rock.
Yeah,
because,
it's tantric.
yeah, and you felt the other two, and they weren't that much smaller,
no.
they were just nothing, to
Yeah.
pick up.
It's such an odd phenomena that the tantric. Every time we get a tantric, it's very, very heavy, grounded, grounded.
I mean, for my hand, it's pulled me down to the floor and just stuck my hand there because it's just the ground.
Almost magnetic. It's
yeah,
just
magnetic
really,
energy,
really,
that
just
force.
Really, yeah, very, very grounded, like the weight of the earth or something is
Yeah.
behind it. Yeah.
It's just amazing compared to all the rest.
Well, I think the rest are more focused in the, the atmosphere and the highers and stuff. And tantric is more very earth-based, and from the mother, and they go in through that way. They go in through the transient form of nature, but it's always, it does have that still point within it, but they just come at it from a totally different level.
It's completely, it's the heaviest
Yeah.
element, heaviest energy that we felt here. So, okay, so I do see that richness. There's some red there too, and just powerful is all that I can
very
say.
strong.
It's just like this, just power beyond belief in this tantric feeling, which runs again like a thread through all things. It's feeling. It's not like it's this. Here's tantra. Here's Shivism. Here's this. Here's that. It's all of it. It's the whole thing. It's what it's feeling. It's powerful. I mean, it's kind of like if you go to the center of a volcano or something. You've got that.
Right.
It's just that
Compressed energy.
Yeah,
It's
that
just
is so powerful.
Yeah.
But that's the feeling that it just can.
very strong.
It runs. It just runs things, man. It's you're in the wake of this. Be careful. But it's very good though as well. It's very purifying. Okay, so what is there a message or question? I doubt a question. I don't know. Yeah, they do want to convey the potency of this tantric energy.
Right.
Packed in power, I was saying. There's cities within it. There's a lot within it, but that's not it. They're saying that's it's like all in. It's just one. It's one. And do you have a question or anything you might want to ask?
Yeah, is there anything really specific that you would like to convey? Something that you think would be really beneficial for anyone here?
They're just saying don't believe yourself to be small, limited.
Right.
That you are limitless.
Limitless.
Yeah. No boundaries.
Right. It's a good message. Okay, so we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Nice, powerful.
Yeah, they're very, very. The tantric is very heavy. It's like it feels like if you hold this, it's so small, but it feels like lead weight. Just lead weight. Yeah. They're going now. It's like
I felt like it was going when I was
feel
transferring it out. It was so light. It's gone.
Yeah, it's light. It's
no,
very
when I
light
picked
now.
it up here, I started feeling it going.
Starting to go already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I couldn't believe how easily I picked it up.
And now it's very light. But it was
as a feather
very.
now.
When you pick up one that's tantric, if it's a tantric master,
can't miss
somebody
it.
you can't miss it. Heavy with, reminds me of the saying, a guru is heavy with knowledge.
Exactly.
It's that type of thing. Very heavy with knowledge.
Exactly.
I mean, just
Grounded.
compressed.
Yep.
Compressed knowledge.
No joke.
Yeah.
No joke.
they're really connected with the earth. I mean, all of the earth. They really go through that. The Earth Mother is where they go through the tantrics.
Makes sense.
They,
I did
they,
feel a little bit of female feel. in
yeah,
that whole thing.
yeah. First they have that connection to everything, and then they go into that still point. So they do, you know, carry the weight of all that.
It's not anything to play with, though, like people want to do. That's for sure.
It's people don't know what real tantra
Wow,
is.
don't
They're
mess
playing
with
with
that.
stuff. They don't know the real tantra, but
Oh
real
my gosh.
tantra is very, 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 very substantial.
It's just like if you know, it's just like you know, you see just a huge cement I mean, just solid, just
Solid weighty.
you know. I don't know. It's just the most power that I felt packed in one, condensed. You know.
Yeah, they're like those kind of gurus. They're
Energy.
like, if somebody tried to budge them, they couldn't move
I
their body. They become like that magnet, you know,
Sure.
those strong magnets
Oh,
that
for
hold, and you
sure.
cannot break it. You cannot move it. I mean, it's just absolute, not going anywhere. So they can be that strong, very, very, very strong.
I wonder if when some of them pass with that's like, you know, how they have the uncorrupt forms and things, because it's just interesting to have all that power and that
Yeah,
energy
it's
there.
just absolutely
Just
condensed power
oh my gosh.
in that, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, to have that there and have a teacher like that, they can
Mhm.
really,
Very heavyweight.
yeah, just surrender. Okay, is
Yeah,
what I
just
suggest.
surrender. My suggestion is
So I
surrender.
suggest.
Exactly.
And surrender immediately. Don't open your mouth.
Because you're
Not
going
to s-
nowhere.
Yeah, not to say you ever should to any teacher. It's not right, but I'm just saying that power is like a volcano. So, okay, this is our last little one for you. Oh, look at you. I
You
didn't
think
think
so?
it was our last.
She thinks so.
No, I didn't think so. No, I knew you were over there.
No, I went to check. We have waiting in the wings. Waiting in the wings. No. They You only think we're done.
Endless.
Endless. No, we've got more that have jumped in while we've been doing, so we have more ready to go. So
Okay. I don't know why I got a flash of Nietzsche onto the Avadut. I don't
Oh,
know if
yeah.
he was tantric in their nature at all.
mhm,
I just feel like he may have had some of that concrete energy in him.
mhm.
So anyway, there he
He
is.
was a very
There he
unusual
is.
one,
He's
Nietzsche
flashing
Nanda.
himself. Flashing
He's
himself
flashing.
in not a bad way. Although he didn't wear too much sometimes.
He was kind of a bit of a flasher, actually, when he was
He's
here.
sitting in a tree looking, because he actually had a lot of cities.
He did, yeah.
He would be found in
had-
trees and all sorts of
Exactly.
things.
He did a lot of very, very odd things.
And he's in a
And,
tree now. He's like,
He just left the farm, and you know, they would come, and I mean, he was very point blank. He just told them, tell the sister fuckers to go away. Literally, he would say it that way. Sister fuckers, just because they were. He said, I had no genuine disciple, nobody that really wanted to be here to get something. They all wanted something, but it was all egotistical, everything they were asking for. So he left.
yeah. I see him on a branch just kind of laughing now. He's just laughing at the whole thing. He's chewing on a
Yeah.
piece of grass or something. I don't know. He's just a trip. But he's, you know, he was still, though the cities were not anything he was caught up in. They just came
They
as
just
part
came
of the
naturally.
course of things for
Yeah.
him. And he was powerful, though. He was a potent energy.
Yeah.
And it just feels like there was some tantric energy in him. Because I
Mhm.
see him there, so maybe just came to say hello. I don't know.
Yeah. Does
So-
he have any message for us? Anything that
Oh,
he would like
boy.
us to pass along? Oh, Nietzsche Nanda would be a fun one.
It's just belly laughing in that tree, so I don't know. He's just belly laughing like that, you know, with chewing on grass right now, so we'll just leave him to that. He's fine, you know, like I say. And then I see clouds, so he did manifest as in clouds. He really was the whole works, rivers,
Oh, yeah.
trees, reflections.
Oh yeah, Nietzsche Nanda was very, very, very interesting. He was, yeah. was not constrained. He left
Rainbows.
his right. He left his body. Just they did an autopsy, and there was no reason for it at all. He just left. He just decided, I'm done and I'm leaving, and that was it. He left.
Yeah, he's showing all those formations now, or at least I don't know about him, but that those manifestations are coming up as being in all those forms: the rain,
Right.
the mountains, the
One is
all
everywhere,
of it.
everything at once.
And
yeah.
now he's just laughing in that tree, belly laughing, tears, chewing on grass, and just just he's great.
It was a good choice to leave. I I understand it totally.
He's still here though.
Yeah.
He's still around. Okay, so we've got this little one. And it's kind of making a V, like a light, like a V.
Okay.
They are saying, I am hearing victory.
Okay.
Is that Jaya? What is that?
Yeah. Victory.
Victory. You can have that on your t-shirt or something and do your victory dance. They're saying the finishing line, victory. After you've done that, I do see that, it's kind of like a marathon, like, it's that hard where you...
Exactly. You can't give up in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You have to plan to go the distance. It's not a sprint.
That's it. And also, you get dehydrated, you get thin. I mean, it's all of those kinds of austerities that,
Right.
and one goes through along the way that you just keep going, even if you're dragging, and then the victory is sweet.
Exactly. When you get to the end, it's very sweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a lot, and there's minutes you think you're not going to make it, and it's just a absolute effort just to get to the next minute.
Yeah.
You can be praying, just get me to the next minute. I mean, it can be that really drastic in the middle of the journey. It can be very, very difficult where, it's not easy. Sometimes one can go through really torturous points of the journey, just absolutely
You do.
absolutely you don't know how you'll make the next breath, and that's all you can do is just get to the next breath, but one passes through that, and eventually one does get to the end line, and there is victory, and victory is sweet.
For sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes more than once, all I can talk about is my journey. But it does show, with this is, sometimes there's a casual ease as you're walking through, and then other times it's like a marathon. You're thirsty, you're dry, you're aching, you can barely move, and then other times you got the rain, and other times the sun, and it's like that. And those little bits of breaks, if you are lucky to have a little bit, you just keep on. And
Exactly. So
that's all.
the message is just continue
Keep
forward.
on.
It is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're not going to start it and be done in a week.
No, exactly.
Plan on, it can take lifetimes, and one has to just continue to go towards that finish line and know that there is victory waiting
Yeah.
at the end of it. So continue forward.
There we
I must say thank you for that.
go. There we go. Oh boy, now we just replenish this.
Yeah.
What? What is happening? Oh, I chose this big one again. It is heavy, but it is a bigger rock, so I
Yes.
don't think that has anything to do with it. So there's a lot of lightness, a nice white aura. Okay, I'm seeing like a mother holding a baby, kind of rocking it. Does look like a very pure spirit doing that. Loving it.
Mhm.
Singing to it. So, okay, so do you have a question or message today? They're like a mother type of energy.
Okay.
And they like to nurture. But, it feels as if to me it's nurturing in good ways. They're showing some plants.
Okay.
They've made sure that those are protected and raised upright, and,
Mhm.
the little critters. And, it's all of it. It's not just their own child or something.
Right.
It's a mothering.
They're just a mothering energy.
Yeah, and they would like to bring that mother energy to others.
Okay. Well, we will leave them at the healing center because there are a lot that
Nice.
come that could use some mothering.
Beautiful, and it's a nice big weighty.
Hopefully, when the one that's the schizophrenic that has lost the
Yeah.
mind, when they come together a little more, they could really use some good mothering that to help
Right.
to bring them back to,
And
So if they could just send some of that mothering,
Good idea.
lightness to them, that might be beneficial for them now. And it's
Yeah.
going to take a while, but it's going to take a mother that's very conscientious to be able to.
for sure. And what I'm seeing is that this
Yeah.
one is really loves unconditionally, because what I'm seeing,
Yeah.
some of the faces are not, maybe they had deformities or they
Right.
had something that was imperfect about them, and they don't care, they don't see it.
Right.
And it's a really nice unconditional loving energy in that
Yeah,
way.
that's
So
perfect then
thank
for
you.
that.
And you
Yeah.
can't miss this one. It is weighty.
Yeah.
It's big, but it, even for this, how big this rock is, it's relatively
It's nicely
weighty.
and we need that
So
for the schizophrenic,
it's a
for that.
stocky
for that-
energy.
Yeah. For that scattered,
Yeah.
we need something very strong like that to
Yeah.
aid with that.
They're gonna still get some tough love in there, is what, but yet nurturing at the right time and the softness
Exactly.
when it's needed. That's a good mother. So, I don't know why these pink ones are relatively heavy today. Little pink fluffy ones aren't so fluffy.
They're not so fluffy today.
But you can't judge that kind of thing. So, okay, they have a line, like there's a white line through them. So they do have a line through them, kind of separating this out from that.
Okay.
And let's see what that's about. What are they separating out? More separating out the bad and the good.
Okay.
The
Their
ugly and
line
the
is
beautiful.
drawn.
They've got that,
Yeah.
thing going on.
They've got
in
their
consciousness.
list.
They've got this is ugly. This is pretty. This is good.
It's okay.
This is
We've
bad.
got everything. Everything is classified. So
Yes.
okay, why are we doing the classification?
Just helps to keep them, for them, make sense, make sense out of things that they can't understand.
Okay. So what can we help you with today?
Let's see if they want to keep that line there. They don't know how to live without it, see if they are willing to live without it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I take that line, will everything just whoosh into one big mess,
Not particularly, no. Things are not always as it appears on the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah, some things that you think are negatives in the end being left-handed blessings. So, rather than keeping that line, understand some things can be left-handed blessings. There's always some lesson there somewhere that can be learned, even from the things that one thinks are negative. But you have to be open to finding the lesson within it.
It kind of reminds me a little, and this does happen with quite many, that they compartmentalize,
Right.
Put things, okay, here's this little box for this little
Right.
box, and they have it
It
on the
has to look
shelves.
this way and it has to
Yeah.
look that way otherwise. But no, then you're going to be missing out on many things that could be really beneficial in the end.
Right, because you're not going to pay attention to that, because you
Right.
have to only go with this.
You're not going to see it.
Yeah,
You have blinders. And
Right.
I'm not even going to look at that. Yeah.
exactly. So it's just, you're going to lose the richness of things for sure. So let's see if they're willing to have that line be dissolved and work on that. Okay, I do see more of a black and white in my mind. They're willing, they're just, they feel like they might feel lost, but how can you say they haven't experienced it without?
You have to be open to
Yeah.
experience and everything. I don't care if it's the one you have that you've got on your side of white.
Yeah.
If you really look at it, it's got a seed of dark in it. You know, it could be taken the wrong way. It could be, you know, anything can be misused and abused, even though it seems to be good. If you overdo it, then again, it can be a problem. So again, something to look at.
No doubt, and there's so many things if we look at in our lives that we, you know, maybe at some point have labeled negative, that have turned in an opened up to something completely different.
It's become a left-handed blessing.
Yeah.
Without that, you wouldn't have gotten to where you are. And so sometimes, you know, you have to be willing to go through experiences that you think in the beginning are negative, but in the end you see, when you look back, it was a left-handed blessing, because without that you wouldn't have gone in the direction you needed to go.
You know, and as hard as it is at the time, just stay steady with that. Right. But you know, you need to be willing. You need to be willing. So it sounds like they're just, you know, what do you think in terms of let's see if what would they would like to do at this point, or they would like a practice, maybe, you know, one or two to kind of keep them.
Yeah, they can do the Om that I am, the I am that I am. That'll be a good starting point. And the regular Om, they can just do the Om.
Yeah, that
the
sounds
Om,
like
the Om that I am, and the I am that I am.
Perfect. Okay. So
and be willing and open to experiences.
Yeah. That's the main thing.
Rather than classifying it and just not being willing to see what else is there. One has to be willing to look at the whole of it, not just the surface.
You'll lose out otherwise. You know, you'll lose out. It's up to you. But so what is this, like that blue laced agate? I'm getting the names. No, 2 names now because of Guruji. I've said it to me 100 times finally. I'm coming. Anyway, all right, so this one's cute in the way it's shaped, though. I like the little kind of triangular. Okay. Okay, they are saying they're near like the Riviera. I do see some waters, blue waters. Pretty waters. I do feel like someone's maybe lounging with a nice drink near these beautiful crystal blue waters on the Riviera. And I said, where are you, on the Riviera? They said, yes, they were. So they're lounging there. Maybe it's their friends doing that. I don't know, but let's see what really they need, because they look pretty comfortable right now. What do you need from us? That looks good, you know. Transport us there and we'll be fine too. Okay, they're showing a little more motion of the ocean. Motion in the ocean.
The motion of the ocean.
So what is it you're trying to say through this imagery that's helpful? Okay, they are speaking about ocean life a little bit.
Okay.
Which, that makes a little more sense. Ocean life being either, first of all, the richness in it, then also the soiling of it, the oil spills, the pollution, the way people just leave their garbage on it. And it just takes it, you know, that's what it's going to do. But, you know, I see some of the birds that have gotten oil, or they've gotten from the, you know, the whatever, the cans, like when they have the 6-packs, they have the plastic, their feet, their webbed feet get caught in it.
So you know, it's more of a wake-up call for taking care of nature and watching your footprint.
Totally, and you know, every little bit that you can do to pick up, even just picking up after yourself, you know, little things, that being more conscientious of that, and they're almost saying, I would be so grateful. It's like they're just really connected.
Don't want to lose that beauty of nature.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. It's, you know, this is our commercial of the day. Take care of nature. if you want to be able to go to a Riviera and lounge and enjoy it, you have to
Right.
take care of it or you'll no longer have it. Either that or you'll get the oiled birds that are caught up in the the webs feed in the cartons, and you're going to lose your places
doubt.
of refreshment.
Okay, it's a nice way to tie it all together, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have those come in that are, they just bring out, kind of helping nature and the planet,
Right.
which is good too, for sure.
I feel like those are our little commercials. Commercial blurb is.
We have, just such a variety that's coming in that you just can't say they're not all just seeking the path of light, but they are seeking healing for the planet, and
Right.
that's important. It
That
really
is important as well.
Yeah.
They're just
so-
not looking at themselves at the moment.
Yeah.
They're still caught up in the externals and everything, but
And they're
and so that's fine. That's where they're at. So
Right, and what do? You just kind of leave that, but still not going to hurt to be more conscientious.
Exactly.
Okay, so this one. Okay, so from that, it looks like a tree is coming forward. I do see someone sitting in front of that tree, almost, looks Buddha-like, sitting there. They're saying something about white Tara energy
okay,
coming back as female a lot.
right,
Wanting and doing that and desiring that kind of life that is in female form to represent the strength of all in the female
Right.
form. So they've done a lot of austerities. They've, raised kids or not raised kids. They've just done the whole, a lot, a lot of strength, a lot of hardships too. And it feels as if meditation and things as well.
Okay.
So they're connected with that kind of energy, and they just want to get any more clarity from you that might be needed for that type of path. The feminine path of stillness and wholeness and all that.
right. Yeah, again, the same thing. You just walk it in clarity and truth and honesty and integrity. And I would say, do the COS and the other practices because it's got the completed mantra that they'll be wanting to use for that path. So if you want to continue forward in that more of the Buddhist path, definitely do that mantra.
Okay, good. I think
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
And they
But
sound.
we need more of that energy. It's going to be coming in more and more.
Yeah.
And so again, it's one has to be of strong countenance to come in and hold that line. That
sure.
yes, absolutely, women can reach realization and everything. And it was so patriarchal. A lot of the Buddhists still believe that you have to be born a male to reach enlightenment, and that's not the case at all. So we need more coming in of the woman's form. Not that there's any difference between male and female in the end. It's an energetic thing, but we need to have more come in to break through those traditionally established patterns. It's time to start breaking through those.
Good. They do sound determined, so
Yeah.
we'll see what
So
happens
thank you,
with
Namaste.
that. Yeah.
So I think we're good for
I think
today.
we're good as well. That's probably just right.
Yeah. So we will close this down. We have many more waiting in the wings again.
Yeah. It's, no lack of supply here.
No, there's no lack. They're not giving us a vacation anytime soon. It doesn't look like. So, yeah. We have waiting and we have
Oh no.
open. There are many places open as well, but shh.
Put a lid
If
on
I say
that.
that too loud,
Even if you put a lid on it, they can
they'll
get
still
through
find their
lids.
way. Yeah, they'll find their way in
Get through
anyway.
lids.
Yeah,
Okay.
no. They find their way in no matter
You
what.
can't close them out. Once
Doesn't
you start
matter.
this work, apparently, it's just keeps
Oh, I
coming.
had them hid away in the suitcase, everything, and
Oh,
they still
yeah,
found a
doesn't
way in. So
matter.
yeah, no, it doesn't matter. They will find us one way or another. So anyway, We'll just open to what, continuing forward with what messages, admonitions, etc., satsang, advertisements,
entertainment.
entertainment,
I don't know about the entertainment part, but it does seem to
and,
come
and
as
some
a
of our
sideline.
well-wishers that just kind of
Yeah,
come
that's
by,
been
like
nice as well.
Nityananda. That was nice that we had the
Oh, right,
Nityananda
it was so
visit.
strong, that imagery. What a trip.
He's having definitely much more fun than he was on the earth. He was not having a lot of fun here. So,
Well, he could escape in the clouds and all that. That's probably why he did it.
Yep.
Okay, so, all right.
so we'll leave him to his belly laughing in the tree and enjoying. So namaste, thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.